world over, universities collaborate to drive research, expand education, and tackle global challenges. This collaboration among educational institutions has taken an increasing prominence in recent decades. From joint research projects and student exchanges to the establishment of consortia and shared resource platforms, cross-border collaborations within Africa have enabled the sharing of resources and faculty development. In Nigeria's higher education, for instance, the establishment of KU8 Plus Consortium in Kwara State, North Central Nigeria, exemplifies this trend. The KU8 Plus Consortium has already yielded enhanced research capacity, promote innovation, and improve the quality of education across all levels in the universities. KU8 Plus Consortium emerges as a transformative platform, a coalition of universities in Kwara State, Nigeria, committed to collaboration over competition.
The KU8 was established in January 2023 to create a collaboration amongst the universities in Kwara State. The basis for this consortium was to ensure that all the universities in Kwara State have a way of relating, have a way of coordinating themselves together, and a way of ensuring that maximum benefit is provided. As it is generally said that if you want to go far, you go with people. If you want to go fast, you go alone. We believe that it is better for us to go far, and that was why all the initial 8 universities in Kwara State came together. But as we speak, we have had additions by the KU8 Plus.
Apparently, it's just to form a kind of a common front for all the universities in Kwara to develop closer relations, to collaborate, promote academic linkages, establish collaborations that will allow joint activities, generally supporting one another to deliver the mandates of teaching, research, and community service. And that is evident in our motto, which is to empower, network, and collaborate. We want to have one strong voice that can make impact as a body in Kwara State, make impact in the North Central, make impact in Nigeria, and make impact globally. So it is the first of its kind in Nigeria as of today.
The idea of the consortium started by the laudable initiative of the current Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, in person of Professor Wahab Olasupo. It's been a very good initiative, bringing the universities together for the purpose of sharing ideas, sharing resources, uplifting each other in areas of strength and weaknesses. You know, universities across the world will have their identified areas of strength and weaknesses. But when you come together, it's an opportunity to be able to do a kind of balancing. You are going to adopt certain strengths from the university, an area where you are weak, other university will support you. It's a good network for development.
When the consortium was established, its members initially comprised of 8 universities: University of Ilorin, Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin, Kwara State University, Kwasu Malete, Landmark University, Umaro, Ojaja University, Eyenkomi, Summit University, Ofa, Alman Patigi University, EPU Patigi, Thomas Adewumi University, Oko, and was later joined by Mohammed Kamaldeen University, NKU, Ilorin, which makes it 9 universities and formally recognized at KU8+.
Every project or every endeavor comes with challenges. We didn't really have any challenge. All the founding 8 members, we received the idea of the consortium as it was initiated by the Vice Chancellor of University of Ilorin, Professor Wahab Olashopo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, who is the original convener, who received and used the idea with so much enthusiasm. And then that very day, we had the Ilorin Declaration on the KU8. Then it was KU8 because there were 8 of us. And then we also gave room for more universities to come on board. And we agreed that if we have more than 8 universities, it will become KU8 plus.
Our meeting, it was resolved that we form a consortium, which after deliberation we called AU8, meaning consortium of 8 universities in Kwara State. And since then, there have been several activities, namely 2 conferences. The first one hosted by University of Ilorin in August 2023, and the second one hosted by Adewumi University again in August 2024, and the forthcoming one which will be hosted by Kwara State University also in August 2025. Since that time, I will say that apart from conference, there are also other engagement in terms of research engagement. I could recollect that the University had a workshop at Pinnacle, and we invited at least 2 representatives from universities that also benefit from this workshop. And other universities also, whenever they have academic program, other universities are also invited. And I must state that today, that KU8, which started in January 2023, has now become KU8 plus, in view of the emergence of 2 other universities, namely Kamaldeen University and Ilorin and the University of Ifa. As we have said that day, that KU8 will remain, but with the additional number of universities, those are plus.
With a rising number of universities in the state, there was an urgent call to foster integration and avoid duplication of academic efforts. This call gave birth to a structure aimed at promoting shared learning, community-focused development projects, and strong institutional partnerships.
Well, the truth is that if we look at our population, either in Kwara State or in Nigeria as a whole, we are still under
Universitized. That is, we don't have enough universities in Nigeria yet. But the truth is, if you look at the facilities available for these universities, these are the number of students that they take. You will agree with me that there is still a lot of challenges. It's all the establishment of more universities. I won't use the word proliferation. Is actually a positive position for Nigeria, for Kwara State. But whether the essence, the basis, and the rationale for establishing those universities are being met is a different thing entirely. Because for university to function effectively, you will need resources in terms of human and material, as well as infrastructural provision. But this appears not to of the 10 that we have in Kwara State today. I'm not sure we can confidently say, oh, we can go for 5 or 6 that can actually live on its mandate as a university.
The essence of KU8 on the inauguration on 9th of the or 11th of January 2023 was to breathe together. That was the motto, to breathe together.
So this consortium of universities are together to forge a common, goal, to have a goal that will propel the universities in Kwara State, not only to compete with each other, but to be of brothers as that's the pastor themselves. And of course, in doing this, they do it very well.
From inception, the consortium envisioned a reshaped academic culture, one free from unhealthy rivalry and rooted in synergy. No doubt, the consortium is already bearing fruit in select institutions.
In fact, it is part of the reasons why the idea of KU8 was muted, to eradicate unhealthy competition. It is for development. Yoruba people says that Adbajo la fi ń ṣe sọ̀yà. It's when you are together in unison, that is the only way for you to be able to have breakthrough, to be able to get a lot of things done, because 2 or 3 heads are better than one. It is not for competition. It is for progress and development. Not of the institutions alone, of the state, Kwara State. In fact, let me tell you the truth. Since inception now, other universities from other ethnic configuration, they are envious of us. They are thinking of setting up cluster like that to have their own, whatever they will call it, because KU8 is getting things done jointly. So we are not for competition. We are for progressive mindeds.
We believe that this collaboration will assist us
In teaching, research, and community service, that is the triple mandate of a university. So the first objective is to create collaboration amongst the universities in Kwara State, to especially with regard to research. Also, the objective of KU8 is also to provide exchange staff and students. We also believe that it will assist us in ensuring that facilities are available for sharing amongst the universities in Kwara State, in a way to ensure that the mandate of the university would be adequately delivered.
Community development plays a vital role in the consortium's vision. Institutional outreach efforts are now coordinated to align with a collective agenda, multiplying their impact.
Traditionally, universities is there. That's an Afro-Toa. And their primary mandates of the very university is to focus on teaching, research, and community development. The university also has a system, what they expect, they call it pan and down, that you have to relate with the environment that a person is what is located, to pursue those 3 mandates I've mentioned, what is teaching, research, and community development. So there's no way the university can perform credibly well on those 3 mandates I've mentioned without a kind of collaboration, not only with university, even with the industry, the professionals, association, and governments. Or do a collaboration. So to me, it's expected of a person that want to excel to collaborate.
Each of us that constitute the consortium have been able to impact in their communities, but as a collective KU8 plus, maybe that will be the next phase of our programs in terms of as a consortium impact on the community, but individually we have been doing that in our own individual university lives.
The KU8 Plus platform allows newer institutions to benefit from the experiences and networks of older, more established universities, bridging the gaps between private and public institutions and improving access to national and international research funding.
For me, a major benefit of KU8 Plus is the fact that younger universities have the opportunity to ride on the wings of the other ones, the likes of University of Kwara and Kwara State University Maliti. There are opportunities that private universities may not have direct access to. But with collaborations with University of Ilorin and Kwasu,
they could be able to access some of these opportunities. So I think KU8 is a good avenue for universities to rub minds together and get what they want. There is a part in the Bible that says one will chase cows with thousands, as much as two will chase 10,000. So I think it's applicable here. 3, 4, 5 universities coming together will be give access to opportunities out there for all of these universities.
These KUA plus consortiums pose different benefits. Institutions are going to benefit individually, collectively. The students, if their focus and objective are well maintained, and in fact, Kwara State as a whole, for individual universities, they're going to be advantageous for them in resource sharing, because there are in the KU8 plus, there are some universities that have been established for over 50 years, over 45 years. There are some universities that have been established over 20 years, and they are just newly established universities. Working together is as if they are giving mentorship program, mentorship, resource sharing, innovative and idea sharing for the newly established universities. There will be reputation enhancement, and there will be capacity building and funding for individual universities. Collectively, the collective advantage of the KU8 plus consortium is that there will be unified academic voice, there will be operational efficiency, and in fact, broadening academic network.
It has facilitated lecturers from different universities among the consortium coming together to look at a particular research. To look at a particular topic with the intention of contributing, with the intention of contributing immensely or to improve the frontier of knowledge. Now, some of this research make an applied research. Although we may have a basic research, which mainly is to improve the frontiers of knowledge, we also have basic research. Basic research in terms to solve problems, human-induced problems that are made better the lot of human beings. So this is kind of research we are conducting KU8. A research that will have lasting solution to human problems. Talking of the ecological problems, talking of the climate, talking of insecurity and all the rest, gender problems. These are the things we are examined at level of KU8, and we have so far preferred solutions to some of them.
Our university was initially affiliated to University of Ilorin, and we benefited so much in terms of capacity building and mentorship. My Department of Biological Sciences, have received mentorship from other researchers and lecturers who are more experienced than us when we started, as part of mentors for the department. And we benefited, several departments in Adewumi University have benefited mentorship from that partnership. When KU8 came, the partnership became widespread and we could receive mentorship. Some of the times we take some of our students to their laboratories over there to learn more. The resources that we also have been shared. It's now a collaborative resource sharing, and that's what helps us. When the resources are shared jointly, it makes learning more innovative and easily learned by our students. So we've enjoyed that.
To sustain momentum, leadership and coordination are essential to ensure the consortium remains resilient beyond individual tenures.
Some of the universities are private, so we have heard about change of a leadership. It's Patigi University and Landmark University. Well, I wouldn't even call that. That's just not a challenge because we had that continuity. So new visitors that came on board, we just naturally just flowed. So I wouldn't call that challenges.
A vice chancellor has a tenure, and if after the expiration of the tenure of a current set of vice chancellors, we hope that their successors will buy into this idea. And I must say that when we had the first conference, one of the things that the founder of Alitmo University admonished us on is for us to create a very solid foundation to ensure that this lofty idea is not allowed to die with the current set of leadership.
Strategic mentorship is another key benefit. By creating a system that balances institutional strengths and limitations, KUA Plus empowers participating universities to grow collectively.
But generally, we have a big umbrella body. It is no longer just one young university TAU standing alone, but 8+ strong universities standing together. So it's like you want to come for me, you're not coming for me, you're not coming for TAU, you're coming for Unilori, you're coming for Kwasu, you're coming for. So we have that, that strong standing, unlike when it is just one institution. And beyond that, there's also the mentorship. Quite young, there are so many things about institutional policies, about university culture that we're able to learn from the University of Ilorin and Kwasu. Maybe the kind of unrestricted access I have to the vice chancellor, I probably wouldn't have that if not for the KU. They're probably looking for who has the number of this of Unilorin, but I'm his secretary, so I could talk to him. Just today, we're preparing for the NUC's, and this is for our MBBS program. We needed a matured MBBS program to benchmark with. Kwasu Zone is just about 3 years old. Alikma, they're just starting as well. We're able to get out of Henilomi, and I called the vice chancellor, sir, we need this. Immediately, to the provost, he responded. In areas of admission, we're struggling with our enrollment. But the University of Ilomi and Kwasu, they're able to fan over their unadmitted students to us. And this is not for TAU only. It cuts across all the other young KUH universities. So students that they're not able to admit, not because they're not qualified, but because of the restriction of quota and class size. They fund them over and say, go to Adewumi University, go to Ojaja University, go to Summit University. So those are some of the benefits. They're quite enormous.
When I was with the desk officer then had Adewumi and Lalipma. When we came together, we had proposals for international halls and all of that. Some are still ongoing that we're expecting results from. So yes, there are opportunities that we jointly put together, even at the level of desk office.
Some of the major challenges highlighted for the member universities was the persistent issue of poor power supply and skyrocketing fuel costs, poor funding, tenure of most VCs of collaborating universities, severely hampers operations, and demands urgent government intervention.
The challenges are numerous, but the basic ones that is not limited to any of the universities is, I'm sure you have read in newspapers and you have heard people discussing electricity, power generation. It's a bit on the high side. It's a big problem that we're facing. I'm not sure if I'm accurate with figure. I think University of Ilorin carried out when they discovered they were paying as high as 200 and something million every month on electricity, not to talk of other universities too. And if you take that out of the resources, what they have, how will they cope? So also other universities. Here, we know what you are paying and we know what we spend on buying diesel. Because even if you pay 3 or 200 or 300 million naira or the electricity provider, that does not say that they will give you electricity 24 hours daily. You still have to, substitute with probably burning diesel through generating sets. And you know how much a liter of diesel costs now. So it's a big problem for us.
The key challenge that I've seen is this. Apparently is with respect to pilots. With respect to pilots. We have a call analysis. This umbrella we see advertisements of all PV plus bus. The country came on the gate. So some universities are like fathers to others who would mention the also will concern. So if we say annual subscription is 200,000 for which KU takes university. that money will be like to like part of in master, not part of us. But of course, even private university, we have to show you how to that we work out. So I will like put it steady like, maybe challenge, will not be challenged, but I'm not as like something like this, like the challenge, the funding kind of, and that other new meeting to this university is called work. It's deep universities that you know. I think that's the only one in Africa. They seem to be like, I mean, that good look at.
The challenges there is that you look at other university, you also want to just be like them. You don't know how to. You see, I can see what we see as challenges is also a source of strength. Okay, motivating you to really do everything within your human capability to really meet up. The major challenge is that you have seen a pace. Somebody set a pace, and you are struggling to also maintain that pace. So it becomes a problem, particularly for the young university.
Despite these logistical concerns, KUA Plus has become a hub for innovation, interinstitutional collaborations, especially in areas like artificial intelligence, are progressing.
First of all, let's look at the KUA's HES conference, which we had around 2023 or so. At that conference, we had over 100 papers presented from various aspects, starting STEM to humanities to agriculture and then look at knowledge sharing from that experience. Also, one thing I can tell you again is that, and we also, our lecturers, our faculty members, they have also been collaborating since then, and we shared resources, and we also organize capacity development among ourselves, even Vice Chancellor. So it's more or less about they are collaborating for development.
KU8, which initially started just like I said, KU8, but now KU8 Plus, came up in order to be able to have the synergy between all private and public, to include federal and state universities in Kwara State, come together as a consortium to be able to provide more in terms of academics, not just only for the student, but for all the institutions at large. When we look at some of the benefits of KU8 today, we're looking at it from the institutional point of view and look at it from the academic point of view. We can also look at it from the resource point of view. Academically, KU8 has been able to allow most institutions to be able to share their research knowledge. For instance, here at Summit University, we are known for artificial intelligence and the opportunity for us to be able to mix artificial intelligence, particularly with so many of our disciplines here at Summit University. So today at Summit University, we get to talk about mass communication infused with AI, accounting infused with AI, microbiology infused with AI, political science, and so many other disciplines now infused with AI. I could say, for instance, the last KU8 allowed us as goals in academics and also some of our students to be able to showcase majority of more of their research in the world of artificial intelligence and the discipline they've been able to marry it with.
Like we just read recently that TAU is declared as the university as the best program in AI in the country. And also recently, some such also the last that's up on AI. Here in Plus, we have our own center. Because of this KU8, this synergy between us, asked our director here to go down and study what makes them better. What they did that made TMU to win that. So we replicate the same thing there. Possibly maybe next time it will be our account. So it's not in any way a competition. We are trying to collaborate and see how we can really push what we have on ground.
Although harmonizing diverse academic cultures is still a work in progress, further efforts are being made to break ideological divides. Faith-based and secular universities are now working more cohesively, unified by shared goals and joint use of facilities and infrastructure.
So I'll give it to the University of Ilorin Vice Chancellor, who is the chair of that consortium. Thinking he is an elder and a very good administrator. He has talked about it, and I'm thinking that Ilorin cannot be on top alone there. There are still some other universities within the Kwara state which can come together and form a consortium that we see is the Eguben chairman and is doing well. And I think the brain behind it is just to make sure that all the universities in Kwara state come together as one. And you see, there is this power of unity. When we come together as one, you'll be able to foster quite a number of things. The resources also will be shared. The efforts will be shared. And also the glory will also be shared if it's finally happens. So I think the brain behind it is just that the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, okay, but the idea and my Ebela Rubisi is also buy into it, and then we have the KU's commission.
The institutional cultural challenge, because the institution culture of Alikma University is quite different from that of Summit University. That of Summit University is different from University of Ilorin. University of Ilorin is also different from Kwara. However, we are not saying this as a challenge. We're saying it's more as an opportunity to be able to learn from one another. Hence, the reason why we have this consortium of Kwara State, all universities in Kwara State.
And then different organizational culture. Some of the universities have more level of discipline in terms of staff than others. So sometimes to get the faculty and staff of the member universities to key into the consortium, to what we as vice chancellors work, will sometimes pose some difficulties.
Every universities, every institution have their own culture, their own custom. And bringing these people together is as if they want to come and bring about their innovation and innovative mind. The way we act, the way we behave, the organizational behavior in Alikma University is far different from what we have in Landmark universities. It's not the same thing as what we have in Kwara State universities. It's not the same thing we have in University of Ilorin. So trying to bring all our culture together, mixed culture, is always a problem.
For the program to stand the test of time, deliberate planning and the avoidance of short-sighted approaches become necessary.
We are hoping that as we grow, we'll be in a position to get to the level of this mobility of staff and students more easily. But for staff, I think we have achieved a reasonable level of virility, because sum it up, I can say we need staff in the area of computer science. We can write it all, we release on them. The same thing, Landmark can say, oh, we need staff from the area of Inane in this poem, and vice versa.
It promotes friendship among the vice chancellor of Kwara State. Promotes friendship. We check on ourselves from time to time. We know about ourselves from time to time. If I don't see vice chancellor of some university or something this, I hope, oh, hello, Professor, I be no one. So I'm evaluated by this kind of approach. We can only find it where that kind of consortium exists.
Even in the face of funding shortages and infrastructural limitations, a strong belief persists in the power of unity to overcome adversity.
I would say any collaboration and associated with a career distribution. They should be able to share best practices. It should also be able to also mobilize itself, scale back to cut the memory. Because when you look at education, of course, as a social self, has a lot that comes to play. And as a government, we continue to partner and collaborate with other institutions, with NGOs, with CDOs, with, of course, even individuals that are interested and passionate about advancing the education sector. because I would say early life education is, for me, the only empowerment that you can give is never train bounds the new one, and having access to education makes the not just the immediate community scale, the arts teaching course at tremendous to national developments.
As a university, you have three core mandates: first, teaching, research, and development. We feel that if universities can come together, we will have the opportunity collaborating in these three areas which are just missions to synergize many things together, share experiences, also bring innovator. Like some universities are older, we can others, even in Kwara State where we find ourselves. We feel that by coming together, we need to share experiences and the knowledge. Also have what we call our student staff exchange, so on and so forth. So we believe that doing it just the whole, not the best. But if we can come together as a consortium, universities in the state, then we have a lot more to benefit from one another. So that was what exactly entered the idea, meeting or bringing universities together in the state from the consortium. So basically, it's just to synergize and also collaborate, partner in all these areas of missions.
And they ensure that a new child is left behind. And for us, every child counts. So the governments are not a so do everything by itself. They permit to partner and collaborate with individuals, with CBS own deals, with different developmental partners.
Mandates of synergizing and also partnering ourselves as universities. Right, about maybe 2 months ago, that was in December, we had to sign MOU agencies. Help us to try some of our activities, like a bit of our student exchange, also helping us to get some grants, for the consortium as a whole, not just as people and we are universities. So these are some of the things that we do. And also, when it's time for accreditation, as universities, we help ourselves. For instance, I remember when the university was commissioned or established, the University of Ilorin is to mentor that university. And we were to have their resource visitation, of course, we support in various ways. Like for instance, they approached Kwasu. They approached us just because we have this consortium. When they approached us, we donated some shelf in the library to the university, and the same thing was done by other universities around. So many things that will benefit the partner, the older ones, mentoring the younger ones. All these are things that we do together. Also, we have what we call student and staff esteem. Right now as we speak, here in Kwasu, I can tell you that the staff that we have on sabbatical, many of them, are from the University of Ilorin or that nearby university. How can people come from her? And same thing is happening at the University of Ilorin. They also having about staff jam and something like that. So many things like that, staff exchange, doing programs together. And they also during the conference held by your university at Lake University, they had sporting activity among staff of this university. So by so doing, we see ourselves as one. We cooperate, collaborate, and do many things together. This has really enhanced lots of our universities for our states.
However, as robust as the vision of KUA Plus Consortium is, many lecturers among the collaborating institutions are aware of the initiative and activities of KUA Plus Consortium, while the larger part of students across member institutions are still unaware of its opportunities. Despite the staff exchanges, joint academic sessions, and collaborative projects, the intended student beneficiaries remain largely disconnected.
Initially, when it started, I'm talking because of my own experience. When it started, it was just on the basis of bringing academics together, sharing ideas, resources, and more importantly, developing their academic careers. That's what allowed. Right now, it has grown beyond that
because it has embroidered a lot of step when you look at when you talk about other aspects that is not related to academics. And this is actually bring together. For instance, the last KU8 that we had, I think in Alikima University was that Alikima University was the last university that hosted it, and we have a host of other programs apart from academic, which also brings together, share more light on individual talents and opportunities that was a gap from perspective.
Well, as a staff, I can say they have good objectives and they have good focus. But as a student, I think despite the ambiguous goal of the KU8 plus consortiums, there is still a significant limitation, and that's the low student involvement. Because the last time at the Kwara State University Molete, where the third international conference was held, I was looking at the audience. There was literally, let's say, zero significance, or let's say a passive number of students. They are just there as onlooker, not as a participant. Students are not carried along. And of course, if you look at this kind of consortium, this kind of collaboration, it's supposed to be students' focus, because the biggest stakeholder in education are the students themselves. There ought to be programs like sharing of resources, facilities, in fact, to enhance the student productivity as a student, particularly postgraduate students, where they will have seminar program, research work, networking. KU8 Plus are supposed to center focusly on the student as the primary, or let's say the majority of the educational stakeholders. But this remain a particular limitation according to my own perspective. Instead of having low turnout of students or low involvement of students, they should work more on how to involve their students. In fact, undergraduate student does not even know what KU8 Plus is all about.
Good afternoon. My name is Eniola Mabonifuanomi Idris. I'm a student of Department of Medical Surgical Nursing, Nursing Science Faculty. I've never heard of KU8 Plus before.
I'm Sterla Yasio, a level mass communication student at Summit University of Kwara State.
My name is Akim Masiri from Abanshikin.
I'm a student of Biochemistry, Kamaldeen level, Lama University.
Are you aware of a KU8 Plus?
My name is Adam Manuel Pomaye, Department of Information Technology, Faculty of Communication and Information Science, University of Ilorin. I've never heard about KU8 Plus before.
This disconnect is not just a gap. It is a signal, a challenge to communicate better, a call to integrate the student community into the consortium's core vision, a development, not a competition. The KU8 Plus Consortium is not merely an alliance of institutions. It is a blueprint for collective progress, a promise of shared excellence, a redefinition of what it means to grow together.